Got it.
So, welcome everyone to our today's webinar. This is Ahmed, founder of xpdays, and yeah, today we are hosting this webinar about conversation and a little bit about xpdays. It's an initiative that we started in August 2020, and no, not 2020. It's November 2019. And this initiative is like formally for people interested in agile and extreme programming, Scrum, and this stuff. And since that, we held 37 live webinars and meetups. And today we have a very interesting topic and speaker. So we have Sabina Crane-Chow. Yes. So Sabina, the floor is yours. You start by introducing yourself.
Yes, well, thank you, Ahmed. And before I start, I would like to express a big acknowledgement to you for organizing this and keep the community alive and offering us speakers a possibility to bring our topics, what's near to our hearts. So thank you very much, Ahmed, for organizing this and having us and yeah, again, to keeping the community alive.
Thank you.
So, and a big welcome to the people on Facebook too. I don't know who you are, and I don't see the Facebook side, but we are having here like a double meeting. We meet people live here at Zoom, and we meet people who we don't see and know at Facebook. So we're going to try to facilitate it both ways, and I'm going to co-lead this session with Ahmed together. And this is going to be quite a different session, maybe you're used to. The session is about conversations. So conversations means that we talk. Well, at least we try to talk with each other or share or write and read. So I would like you maybe to find and look some paper and pencil for we might go to do some writing. So you might want to find something to write on. And for those here on Zoom, I would like to invite you to share your video so that we can see your beautiful faces, because even the surroundings and the facial expressions are part of communication. Well, as far as yes, so well, I'm Sabina. I'm living in the Netherlands and also working here. I'm in a permanent job at the Avans University of Applied Sciences, and I'm an enterprise transformation coach here. My background is not in XP or software development, although I have a big interest in engineering and software development practices, but my background is more about linguistics and language. And I became, over the years, a lot of experienced Scrum Master, Agile coach, and all this stuff, you know, about scaling Agile and doing all this stuff. So this is, well, oh, and I need to say I'm also a singer, and I'm a jazz singer, and that's important to me because singing is also kind of communication. I will come back to that later. So this is quite a different session. I would like to start with some slides. So I will have some slides. We will have some things put in the chat, and I will also offer you a handout with some conversational techniques and moves. So you will get out something tangible out of it, but this is mainly about talking and conversations. And okay, let me share my screen. And can you people understand me well? And
yes.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So these days in our field, there's a lot of conversation going around on complexity. I mean, you have had a session about the Kneffin model, as far as Kneffin. There's all these acronyms, all these short terms like VUCA, tuna, I don't know, rubbed Barney. Who has heard about Barney? May I see your hands? Have you heard about Barney? No, rubbed. Okay, I will give you a link. But these are all acronyms that relate to some kind of complexity, unpredictability, ambiguity, and it refers mainly to, well, not mainly, it refers to the outer world, like complex technologies that have evolved from a long time ago, a complex world in which we live, in which unprecedented things happen, like wars, like things you can't predict. And I am wondering, how do we deal with all these complexities and unpredictabilities and anxiety and things that happen between people? So I'm wondering, how do we make sense of this? And making sense is not only about the outer complexity, but also about our inner complexity. So what makes us tick? What drives us? You know, what is challenging you? What makes you anxious? What makes you curious? And then how do you experience your emotions and control them or not? Maybe emotions have you in a situation. So what makes us tick, and how do we interpret what's going on? So what occurs for us? How do we then relate to that? And can we maybe steer the way how we look at things? So this is what we call the mindset thing, you know, like growth mindset and all these words. But what does it really mean? So what I'm really intrigued by and interested in is the inner, what I call, or what we call inner agility, and our inner sense making, our sensing. What do we make of a situation? And what is our inner paradigm, our inner technology that makes us see things the way we see it? Like, what is of course, our cultural background influences the way how we see things. I mean, maybe, you know, the Dutch people are very direct, right? That's what people say about us, very direct. And French people do look at it differently. So here's the topic I'm really interested in. How can we make sense of this outer complexity, while at the same time dealing with inner complexity? This is what is of really interest to me. You are looking at the picture of the Hubble Space Telescope. So this is one of the nebulas the telescope discovered. And of course, we're all proud of it maybe, but I'm particularly proud of it because one of the observatory technology issues, the cameras, was developed in the Netherlands by a scientific institute, and I worked for that institute. And why is this so? Besides, it's of course quite an endeavor to find out what's happening in the universe, in space, way back, and what does it tell us about maybe where it goes. There is our curiosity for discovering new things. But what is of interest here for me is that we developed an observation tool, like observation technology, like engineers, you know, creating, thinking about how can we observe far more back in the universe. And they came up with this camera, with this principle. And now we're able to make this picture. So the philosophical point is, by observing, we discover. I just leave it here because this is, I think, a nice thing to think about. So the title of my talk was, and you will talk also, what is the road today? So you just had my opening appetizer about the Hubble Space Telescope. I would like to do a little check-in with the group here, and then go on like a little bit of theory and then activity, theory, activity, and give you also an idea of how such conversations, like conversations for uncovering, revealing things about ourselves, how they can go. Okay, let's start with you. I would like to ask you to do a little bit of a check-in. And Ahmed, how are the people on Facebook doing? Are there any questions so far? Are you, no, not yet? Okay, well, maybe, well, they hear us, right? I'm not used to having Facebook and Zoom at the same time, but
Yes.
okay. So people on Facebook and people here, please, please write a one-word check-in. Like a one-word check-in means like, I'm coming in with, and I will go first. I'm coming in here in this session. I came into the session with hope and curiosity. So would you please use the chat and write your one-word check-in? Also the people on Facebook. How many people are there, Ahmed, on Facebook? None?
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
2 people and yeah.
Please write in the chat your one-word check-in. I'm coming in today with nice. So only, yes, I only see, I can't tell, are the others still writing? Will to learn, thank you, yes. Okay, well, of course, I'm not sure about Ahmed and Mohammed because the screens are black. Just again, want to encourage and invite you to share your video because in some minutes we will put you a practical guide for XP implementation. Oh, well, I'm not sure whether you will get that out of here today. Yes, okay.
I'll share some links.
Yeah. Well, thank you for Conway's Law, by the way. Okay, so I will continue now. The topic of today is really about, well, this is the text which we used to announce the session. And we want to talk about conversations that are powerful catalysts for changing mindsets. And what is a catalyst? A catalyst, that is something that attracts new things that might emerge. So catalyzing is, of course, a term out of chemistry, I think. And catalyzing is things that you attract and that emerge or that will show up, like a magnet, right? So I see conversations as places where things emerge, where we uncover things, discover things. And they will help us to navigate in complexity, whether it is engineering and programming, or it is making sense of a team that's lost in some difficult situations, like they're arguing and they're not feeling well. You can sense it, but conversations can help to bring to surface that's what's underneath. And also conversations can help to make sense of what we don't know. So we haven't talked about this yet. We don't know what we don't know. Do you agree? Who does agree? Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know what we don't know. So these conversations, if they go into the realm, into the space of the unknown, that's interesting because we might even need new language. So one of the technologies that I learned from Michael Hammond, by the way, this work I'm presenting today is based on Michael Hammond's work and one of his books, Evolve Agility. I will give you the link. You will learn a lot about inner agility, sense making, and inner technology. So the deliberate developmental conversation is some kind of questions and techniques and conversational moves that help you in this meaning making. Okay, so this is the topic of today. So we don't go into the external complexity. Don't go. It's about ourselves. And hopefully you will find something out about your own meaning making schemes. How do you make meaning? Like, for example, very stupid example, a user story. In my case, as a student, I want to register for a module so that I can start my study year, right? You want to register because otherwise you can't start your study. So what do we know about the student? His underlying beliefs, his underlying needs, and what do we assume about the acceptance criteria? What do we assume? What do we notice about a student? And watch my language. I use a particular kind of language. Right, a little bit of theory. So what are the dimensions of inner complexity? Well, I see there's not only 3, there might be even more, fifth dimension. I don't know, but for now, I would like to present 3 of them. That's the seeing of self, which means, are you able to manage your own emotions? Do you see your own, what drives you, your beliefs, your assumptions, maybe that what hinders you? And are you able to see yourself? Like in a conversation, do you see how you interact with others? So that's the seeing of self. We call it sometimes self as instrument. The second part is the social emotional intelligence. Do we have compassion, empathy? What do we know about our relational systems? How do we see ourselves? And by the way, you can take notes, of course, but I will provide the slides to you. You can have them afterwards. And then the third part is more the cognitive fluidity, like, are we able to think systemically? If you are a coach or working in an organization, your work is part of a bigger system. Like you're an engineer, you're writing software, but there is the tester, there is your manager, there is the customer, there's the user, customer is not the user. And then there is the business owned by a business owner who wants to make money or needs to make money. And then there is, it's almost like a universe. Then there's the government. Then there's the cultural setting in which your company works. So systemically looking at your work. Today, I am I'm trying to limit myself mainly to the, let's say, the left upper area, seeing of self. So deliberate developmental conversations, our inner agility is something I would like to focus on. Right, I've been talking already for a lot of time. I will send you into an activity and Ahmed is going to help me by putting the questions in the chat. I would like you to take a pen and paper or, pen and paper would be nice. And to journal a little bit, to write a little bit about the following situation. Think about a situation in which the conversation went surprisingly in a different way you expected it. So you had a conversation, it could be with your significant other, it could be with a colleague or a manager or a customer or a friend. And that situation took quite a different direction. Like suddenly. And then please go back to that moment and then How did you know that it turned out differently? What happened in your body? How did you innerly react, but did not show maybe? What were you assuming? What beliefs were at play? And how did you see the other? Okay, so I'll give you about 3 minutes. And the questions are in the chat. So take 3 minutes time and journal about the situation and try to answer these questions. Good luck. I will stop sharing.
Should we put them in a breakout room, or should they start speaking? Or
no, not yet. First, journal themselves. Yeah. Three minutes. Give you 1 more minute. We lost already some people, Ahmed. Is it because of connection, or did they say anything about leaving?
no.
No, okay. All right. So let's maybe hear from one or two persons about how was that writing and journaling, and what have you discovered?
Can I start?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, it's a situation that I went through today when I was misunderstood. So for me, journaling, it took a lot of the feelings itself. It made it normal that I go through this kind of situation. And it's helping me to recollect my feelings and emotion about this certain situation that happened to me. So I feel it's very helpful for me to discover how I really feel about this and not putting it into the subconscious mind and to where a place that I don't usually touch. So yeah, that's
And what have you discovered about the other, maybe, or how did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I found out that I was surprised, to be honest, that they quickly went into apologizing, and I was surprised, to be honest. I thought they would justify themselves more, or maybe withhold themselves to be in the right position, not to admit that they wronged me. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised.
You were surprised. So you were noticing in yourself, you were surprised, and so what kind of belief do you have about yourself that you were so surprised?
Actually, maybe because I wasn't treated like that before. That was why it's so surprising for me. So the belief is that usually this kind of behavior or this kind of people who wrong me, they don't apologize for that. So to get an easy apology and admitting that they were wrong got me into getting a surprise for this.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you much for sharing that so bravely. Thank you. Yeah, and Mohammed, you wrote in the chat that you said you don't have been in such a situation in which a conversation went differently, surprisingly different. You haven't been in such a situation, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah. So when I asked you that question, what happened with you?
Okay, I was thinking like of a situation that they may have had conflict with the other party I'm talking with, or some situation that has been misunderstood, which usually happens. But you know, it wasn't that a big misunderstanding. Like it wasn't a big deal because usually when you are talking to the other person, you can see in the face or the facial expressions, and you can tell, yeah, they are thinking something different than I do. Yeah, they look worried. They look different. You know, you see it on the face. And if that happens, I tend to use or to ask them, do you get what I'm saying? What do you think I said? Actually, there is a different thing that I can talk about. In our culture, you know, I'm Egyptian, and usually moms, sisters, and other women usually in the family, when they are mad at you or they misunderstand something that you said, they tend to, you know, take a side and stop talking to you, and you keep asking them, "This is wrong. What happened?" And they go, "You said this, and or you did this," and I'd be like, "Okay, so what about it? You meant that." And no, I didn't mean that. You should have asked me instead of assuming, you know, you shouldn't make assumptions. Come and ask me, why did you say so? What did you just do so? What did you mean? You always have to clarify. It's always better, you know, it's healthy, you know. and I will surely tell you why I did this, or why I said that. So the major misunderstandings, family misunderstandings. That's all, especially my mom.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Not in business, but in work, because usually not in business, not in work, because usually if we have a meeting or going to have a business conversation, we know exactly the topic we are going to talk about, even if it's a new feature, it's pre-described and we know what's there, there is no big room for misunderstandings. Even the language is common.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, I don't know, but sometimes I find myself that I prepared everything up front so very well, like today, and I showed up at the right place, but not at the right time. So everything changes, There is some, yeah. So, there's so much to dive into deeper, but we only have 1 hour. So I would like to continue a little bit to give you another piece of beautiful background. So, I think it was Michael Hammond again who said, think about listening is an act of giving and speaking is an act of taking. So, and I think this slide beautifully aligns with that. So what are levels of listening? So we have this level, like when you are talking, and I'm right now talking to deliver. Now I'm not deliver, but okay, yes, a little bit deliver theory. So my inner listening is about getting it right, choosing the right words, even wording it right, even thinking about Michael Hammond at the same time, like, ooh, what would he think about the way I present this? So this is my inner narrow listening, like my thoughts, my judgment. When you listen, I mean, maybe people can relate to it. Like if you ask a question, because you have learned these beautiful coaching questions, and actually you are not asking a question, but you ask a question to hear the right answer. Yeah, can you relate to it? Like that you ask a question and you well, it's actually not a question because you only want to hear one answer. Okay, so it's about the content. And then there is the level 2 listening, that's more, and it's here, it's called full listening, but level 2, so level 1 is listening to yourself, your own thoughts. Level 2 is being with the other, listening to the other, what's at stake for the other. And then there is level 3, which is also listening to the whole systemic, the space around us, like we are here in a space, and then there is also the Facebook space that we don't know. I mean, we don't know what's happening there. Maybe there's somebody, maybe there's nobody, which would be a little bit disappointing, but maybe there's nobody. Maybe they ask questions in chats. Maybe there are hundreds of them. We don't know, but there is a broader space around us. And listening to that space, sensing into that space, that's the level 3 listening. And then in this level 2 and 3 listening, it's about I sense in me things that might be a symptom of what is in the broader space. So this is how the full listening works. It's I sense something in my body, like sensations, like tingling, like, goosebumps or something. Goosebumps when you're at a concert or when you're at church, in my case. And I have these beautiful moments and I have goosebumps. So there is a sensing at the body that gives you information about the space. Okay. And then there is, of course, the space between us. So if you want to listen full and be present with the other, for the other, like you want to help the other to discover things about herself or himself, then you need this quality of listening. Okay, so stop sharing. I'm a little bit debating now with myself, Ahmed. There's not too many people, and well, I don't know how to pronounce it, but there's a new person entering the room. Loai. May I invite you to please show you on camera, because this is a session about conversation, and we like to see your face, please, if that's possible for you. And
just maybe a couple of minutes.
sorry?
Yeah, maybe in a couple of minutes, just give me a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's okay. And Ahmed, the other Ahmed, are you there? Okay, no response far. Good. Well, so what I would like to do, Ahmed, help me, sorry, is to put, I would say, put Loai, Remas, and Mohammed in a breakout room. And here's the activity. I would like you to share about a topic that's on your mind. Can be any topic, 1 minute, and the other listens. Like only listening. Don't say anything, just listen. And listen, try to find out, are you listening for yourself or are you listening for the other? And it really doesn't matter what you're talking about. Okay, so Ahmed Helmi is going to put the 3 of you in a breakout room because I don't know what Ahmed El-Agawi is going to do, but at least the 3 of you. And then we will get you back in 5 minutes. Is everybody in a breakout room? No, Remas not. Oh yes. Oh yes, beautiful.
Yeah, they are now.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Ooh, I hope we will get there. All good so far? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the people on Facebook, they still see our conversation right now. Yeah.
Yes, they are. They are like switching between. Sometimes people come and leave.
Yeah.
But I share all the text and the questions here.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So is there something you want to share maybe?
Not really. I also shared the link of Zoom meeting, Facebook. Maybe I came from this one.
No, no, I meant like talking.
Yeah,
Maybe,
normal talking.
yeah.
Conversation. Nothing but to be honest, all the attendees today are almost new except for Loai. And I was very happy that there are new people that are coming. There's something interesting to them. Yeah, other than the conflict of the day, of the time that happened.
I don't mind. This is what it is about. You know, we predicted, we assumed all kinds of stuff, and then nothing of that happened. So here we are eating, we are drinking our own champagne. Right now, you're not drinking champagne. Okay, I'm going to please.
I haven't showing now.
Different person. Aha. Hello, Samer. Welcome.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it dark at your place or is your camera off?
No, my camera off.
Okay. Would you I would like to invite you maybe to share your beautiful face because we're talking about conversations here. It would be nice to see you.
Just now I'm unable to open it. I'm in outside. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
This meeting for the Scrum, or I'm enter mistakenly.
Oh, this is one of the community sessions for XP. That's hosted by Ahmed Helmi. And today's session is about conversations and conversational techniques.
Okay.
So, and we're right now in a breakout room. People are practicing some techniques right now, and they will come back in a few, I would say in about 2 minutes, and share what I have discovered. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for this introduction. Okay. Inshallah, I will try to log in back after 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay. Yes. I'm really curious about what they found out about their own listening. So people are, maybe for the Facebook people at home, some people are now in a breakout session and they share about something, a topic, and the others listen. And what we're trying to find out is what kind of listening was at place. Like, what have the people who were in a conversation, what have they discovered about their listening? It could be something you do at home, maybe even or wherever you are, or with friends. Like, if you would just listen 1 or 2 minutes, not saying anything, but maybe listen to your inner dialogue. So if you listen, what's happening inside you? What are you thinking about when you are listening? Yeah, maybe I use a lot of words. So. I think we might close the breakout. Yeah, let's close the breakout rooms and find out. Yeah.
Yes, and I would like to comment on this, that why in coaching sessions with guys, we tend to listen to the sound of the system of the people, and maybe the sound is just a silence, and we need to reflect to why it is very silent or very quiet.
Yeah.
I just came by myself. Let's close the breakout rooms and listen.
Yeah. Yeah, and being silent doesn't mean that you're listening. Not necessary. It could be being silent because you keep yourself silent. Like, I need to be silent. I need to be silent. I need because then the other speaks. But how are you really present for? And even if the other is not speaking, you can still be present with the other, right?
Yes, it's very challenging to be silent when people are expecting you to speak.
Yeah.
You feel that, and you don't want to speak. You want to listen.
Yeah, and maybe that could be an assumption that people expect you to speak. Could be, maybe.
Could be, yes.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I mean, for me, as a you know, co-leader of this webinar, I also think like, oh, I need to fill up the silences with stuff. Hello and welcome back. Oh, look, there he is. Oh no, now he's gone. Okay. So, how was that, people? How was it? What have you discovered about your listening? You can open up your mics and start talking. I mean,
It was a bit awkward at the moment. It took us like a couple of minutes till someone started talking, till I started talking. And Rimaz didn't have the time to share her 1 minute.
But it's totally fine. I listened more than I talked, so it's okay.
And what did you, so would you like to share a little bit about your listening, Remas?
It starts with listening for some keywords I'm looking for. So yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is I found myself looking for not only listening to the other person, but like finding these keywords and connecting them to me, reflecting those kind of thoughts or kind of how I would react to these kind of words. So yeah, that's my experience.
Yeah. So, and what have you how was that listening for you, Muhammad Ali?
It was a way to know about the other person, you know, to get to know Luai. I heard about his experience, and I wouldn't say it made me understand him more, but it made us closer, you know.
You felt more connection? Am I getting it right?
Yeah.
More connection. That's interesting. So her listening created more connection. That's beautiful. Did you hear that, Remas?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I listened. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, I would say now that you were maybe in some kind of between narrow and full listening. So like listening for words that you can relate to, and Mohammed experienced a better connection. That's great. And I think it's also, hey, oh look, Ahmed, oh what, you can speak too, Ahmed Helmi. What did you write?
Yeah, that means that Rimaz was a very good listener, so that people like to speak when they see you are engaged and listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I'm always talking too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the same Luai. I has joined with them the room, but because I was connected from my mobile, that's why I keep the connection open.
Okay. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, okay. So there's so much more to tell here, but we don't have enough time to do so because there's the masterpiece. I wanna. So thank you for sharing this beautiful moment together. Thank you very much. So here's the power of listening, and the quality of speaking is also related to the quality of listening, and therefore listening is an act of giving, and speaking. I mean, speaking an act of taking. It's not bad or good. It's just if we are aware of that fact, it makes it much more humankind, right? And creative. Yeah. Okay, so now let's go to the masterpiece. And that's the deliberately developmental conversation. It's really a particular kind of conversation. It's deliberate and it's developmental. Deliberately means that we, in full awareness, deliberately choose the conversational moves and kind of questions for the other to develop him or herself. So questions that are meant to help the other, like if the other has a developmental question, like I want to be more open, I want to communicate better, I want to be less anxious, but I don't know how, or I'm having a dilemma. Oh, dilemmas are beautiful stuff for conversations, but then by asking the right questions, or not the right, by asking the questions, you can help the other discover himself or herself, like what drives me, what hinders me. And it's about developing a higher level of consciousness, actually. So developmental means getting to a new stage of consciousness. That's what DDC, deliberate developmental conversation, is about. And here's a nice definition, again, borrowed or lent from Michael Hammond, from his beautiful book, Evolve Agility. You could say it's a kind of coaching conversation, but it's not about fixing a problem or even fixing a dilemma, but it's about creating a broader awareness about the topic at stake. And there is a lot of different kinds of questions. And it's about the other. It's about you be with the other without being attached to the outcome of the conversation. It's not you as the listener, it's not you as the manager, it's not you as the significant other that's responsible for the outcome. So you relate to the other for the purpose of the other. And it means going into full listening mode. It's not easy. I mean, we get back into narrow listening for I, we go forward, we go back. Sometimes it doesn't work at all. So please, Ahmed Helmi, sorry for naming you by your last name because I hate it actually, but there's more Ahmeds here. So
Yeah, it is a normal thing in Egypt.
okay.
Because you will find like 80%
Oh.
of the population are Ahmed and Muhammad.
That's
So we used to like call us by second names or by last names.
Would you please give the people the handout, because I crafted a handout with different kinds of questions that you can use in conversations. And just in a second, magically, Ahmed Helmi will give us this handout with the questions. Oh no, I am doing it, right? Oh, sorry.
Can also do it. I'm trying to just drag and drop.
I do it. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Here it is. It's a PDF, and it says also, please deal with it with courtesy, because it's material that I borrowed from Michael Hammond's book, and you may use it, but please, use the reference of the author. So maybe could you open this PDF? Oh, it's now 2 times in it. Yes, here it is. So I will share it. Here it is. So I have one question. It's 2 minutes until due time, and I'm not really ready or finished yet. How much people can stay a little bit longer? But what about if we would extend it a quarter of an hour? Who could still be there until, let's say, 9:15? Yes, Remas?
I can.
Yes, who can? Also, Mohammed, are you able to stay a little bit longer? We can't hear you. You're muted.
I have to stay more because I have to leave the office.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, Ahmed Helmi, what do you think? Well, maybe we just finish at 8 o'clock, and for those who want, they can stay longer. Is that a good idea?
Yes, I was about to suggest this because I'm also I need to jump.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I may keep it open for you for discussion, but we
Yeah.
finish and
Okay.
close recording at this step.
Okay. So maybe then the next time we will, with those who want to, we will practice the DDC, because that's what I envisioned for today, but it somehow didn't work in time. Maybe it's my, well, it definitely is my timekeeping capabilities. So, but what I just gave you in the handout is all kinds of questions. Yes, Ahmed.
Yeah, your suggestion that would be actually great to schedule another workshop for
Yeah.
actively practicing
Yes.
this one.
Yes. Yes, let's do that. We'll practice then the DDC, and I give you just, you know, today an overview of what is a DDC. I gave you, you can also use these kinds of questions in your conversations, like how you really carefully listen, but also carefully ask questions. And well, then people, this is kind of abrupt, but we'll have to finalize this session today, and there will be a part 2, the sequel. I would like to ask you for the end, would you please write down in the chat one thing that stood out for you, that you took with you? Yes. Hello, Yasmin. Welcome. Oh, she left again. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure whether, are people still writing? Aha, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Well, people. Yeah. So I would like to thank you very much for having me and being so participative. I mean, I'm a complete stranger, you know, from a very different country, and you were so open in engaging with the conversation with me. So thank you very much. And thank you, Ahmed Helmi, for having me again. And well, what I can offer is to do a second session and practice the DDC and really take an hour time for that. So I hope it was joyful for you.
Yes, thank you very much, Sabina. Thank you guys for being very flexible with us for this distraction at the beginning. Especially thank you for Muhammad for staying with us for that long. And yes, we will schedule another workshop for more practical practicing of
DDC, yeah, deliberate development.
DDC.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah, as always, we are all inviting you if you would like to be speakers, if you would like to share some knowledge, to get in touch with us. We'll share the record of the video. So stay tuned for this also for the video and the PowerPoint. Thank you, Sabina. Thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
You're welcome. Bye.